really known for making elegant art, sadly. But this one is pretty elegant and it's super easy. I'm doing it in a sketchbook, but you could totally make it into a card. If you tape off the edges, you get a nice white border, automatic fanciness. Watercolor paints. I'm gonna dip straight into the pan so that it's nice and saturated. And we're just gonna make a line going across the paper. This is gonna be snow, and then there's gonna be sky above it. If your line isn't dark enough, just go back to your paint and add a little bit more. Now we fill our brush up with water, and we're just gonna run it along the edge of that wet paint, and it's all gonna flow into the water. So this is just clean water on the brush, and as the brush gets saturated with paint, I go back and dip in to get fresh water. It's gonna get lighter up towards the top, and that's what we're going for. I want there to be trees, like way in the background. So while it's still wet, I'm gonna dip into some green, and I'm gonna dot that along the edge. And you're like, I don't want to mess it up. You're not going to mess it up. It's going to be okay. Little tiny dots, and you can make some of them go higher into the sky and some of them be closer to the line of snow. That's going to make the trees. Once it's dry, I go back to the same blue and I add in some lines for snowdrifts, and I get some more clean water on my brush to sort of spread it out. I did a couple of these, but I left a little bit of space because I'm going to add a big tree later. Now we're gonna define some of the trees in the background, and we're gonna put one tree in the foreground, so it's gonna be bigger because it's closer. That's like the star of the show. What's the #1 rule of making trees? Do not overthink the trees. We're just using the tip of the brush to make teeny tiny little lines. And I'm trying to make a more realistic tree line, so I'm leaving some space in between my teeny tiny lines. But if you don't wanna do that, or that feels hard to you, you could just make triangles. Just do a stylized tree. Do what feels best to you. The main tree is the same technique, just bigger. So whatever you did on those smaller trees, you're gonna do again and just make it bigger. So if you are going with the triangle tree, just own it. Triangle trees are your jam. Make a big old triangle tree. I wanna put like a little gold star with some metallic. This is acrylic. Can I actually make a little star? A little tiny star? We will try. I don't know what woodland creature came in and put a star and garland on this tree, but it sure looks nice. And then a big old snowstorm came through, but it was just white gouache that I splattered. You can make it to give away, or you can just make it for you. That's okay too.